Okay, first use of this Bissel Crosswave. We're going to do this hallway. I can see, well, you can see a clear difference between where the rug goes and muddy dog paws either side. So we're going to do this section here. Plugged in, we have a very long cable with this. No issues with the cable length. The brush roller will not spin until you've pulled the handle back, so it won't spin like that, although you can turn the machine on. It's plugged in and on, and to start it you just press the rug button or the hard floor button and then use the trigger on the inside there to actually release the water, and it needs about 10 seconds of priming before the water is flowing through there. So we've got the empty reservoir tank, you know, the dirty water tank there. Just taken the other one out, and we're just going to go and fill the clean water reservoir up. So back in a moment. Okay, so here's the water, clean water dispenser. It's quite handy actually. It's got two marks. We've got a small area here. That's how much water you put in, and then that's how much of the cleaning fluid on top. And then if you want to do a larger area, water to there and formula to there. We're actually going to go for the larger area today. 60 degrees maximum is what you can put in. So we are going to fill that up with water, hot water from the tap. There we go. I don't know if you can see that even, but I think you can. I've already taken the seal off of this, and it'll be interesting to see how much fluid we actually get. And based on that, we've probably got enough to do 2 full tanks worth, possibly 3. So notice there is a little sieve here to get any particles out before it goes through the pump, and we'll just do that up like that. Right, back in a minute. Right, I'm going to try and film this with one hand and operate it with the other. So we are going to hit the hard floor button. And then we're going to operate the trigger. So you probably saw that it was applying the water very evenly and quite sparsely. It's not chucking water out everywhere. So now I'm going to go over it with just a hard floor setting and see if we can suck any of that water up. And you can see that it's not exactly used much, and there isn't a hell of a lot in the water collection tank either. So let's just run over it with no water this time. Right, there we go. It's just left it very slightly damp, I think. Oh, thanks, madam. What you doing? Come on, I'll just clean that. You got wet, muddy paws. You been in that pond again? Eh? Tell the viewers. Where have you been? Eh? You're a bad animal. Right, so what we're going to do now is we'll get the water and dirty collection tank out and that roller in the utility room, and we'll have a closer look at the dirt. A little bit tricky to film this, but I think you'll get the idea. So you'll remember from earlier, if I get it round the right way, so we had the water to here, so it's gone, and the formula to there, so we've probably used, I mean, roughly no, I was going to say half, but it isn't because it's deeper at the bottom. So it's been pretty good on that long hallway. It's about 30 foot the hallway, so a reasonable amount of water used. This is, oh god, that is the filthy water that it's collected. That is absolutely disgusting. So that has done a really good job, as you can see. A little bit of dirt has been collected in that filter. We're going to be taking all of this out and rinsing it through. Dog hair that it's picked up is splattered all inside, so it will, obviously hoover up bits and pieces. So that all needs rinsing, but that's no problem. Again, to pull the roller out, you lift this out, and that is covered in easily removable dog hair and grit. And if we pour this out, well, if you look in there, you can see, I'm going to pour that straight in the sink. That is, and it smells just like mud from the garden. So we're just going to wash all this out. Really couldn't be any easier. So that is that cleaned. We have the main unit. Now it does say to remove that and clean it and then leave it to dry for 24 hours. So I suppose the ideal thing is just to buy one of these kits. It comes with one of these, a little brush that goes in between these pleats. You'll have another brush roller or two. So probably the best to buy one of those kits, as I say, and just have a spare available. So that's that cleaned. Couldn't be easier, could it? Rinse this. And that's that done. And finally, we're just going to need to rinse the roller through. Surprisingly, that looks pretty well washed actually by the machine and the spinning action probably drying it. There's really not a lot of obvious dirt coming out in the water. Now, if you remember from the first video, on the stand that the machine comes with, there's two holders that you can just sit these tubes in to dry. So I'm just going to wring this out and we'll leave it to dry in the machine. So that is ready again for a bash tomorrow. All this fur that's come out and bits of leaf can all go straight in the bin. I think if we go back to the floor, it's going to be dry already, because I stepped away from it. It was already drying in patches. So there we go. Seems like a good buy and works very well. So got to do the front room and the kitchen now, utility room, and we'll be done. So yeah, I think I can highly recommend this machine. Right, so there we go. Literally in the couple of minutes that's taken to clean those bits and pieces, this is completely dry, and I'm really hoping we won't be able to see where that rug was now, and yeah, I don't think you can. So yeah, job done. So that just needs to go back in the front. We will leave the filter out. We'll just let that dry on the radiator overnight. The rinsed and dried brush roller will just sit in there. Trying to do this one-handed, not ideal probably. There we go, and press, and that is that in. And actually, I'm going to leave it out, and that's where it sits, literally just in there to dry. And I'll just click this back in place, so show you how it goes. And that's it. We've got water left, so I'm going to leave it out and pointing up. don't really want that pointing down. I'm sure it won't leak, but no point in risking it, so we'll just leave that on the side somewhere, and we're done.